Free socks. Free socks.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another exciting edition of the Triple B Experience, a show that we have been talking about for 3 weeks. Last couple weeks before that, we were ranking the MCU, the non-MCU movies, and tonight we are going to do all the DC movies, not the animated cartoons that never made it to the movie theater, but we are going to go way, way, way back in time. And I am going to have some help, thank God, because I cannot remember everything the night before 4th of July. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring on the guys that help me out on Thursdays. First and foremost, he is the host of West Virginia Mountaineer Mafia Football. He had tonight's show Thursday nights at 8 p.m. If you like college football, subscribe. He's also my co-host for Steelers Dynasty Podcast. He's my special field correspondent. He does a lot of stuff out in the realms. And he's also the guy that did all the thumbnails for this lovely show tonight. And that's a lot of work. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's introduce Shane Stodmiller. Hi, Shane.
Hey, Baba. Don't mind me. I have my wife's sweater on because it's cold down here.
Well, I would have never known that was his wife's sweater until you told me. So, real quick, how was your show tonight, Shane?
It was good. We for not really like announcing it, and I had 12, 13 people live. I couldn't believe it, but it's gonna pop off again with a lot of good energy. I was excited to be back. It's good to talk about. Got a ball coach that was here 20 years ago and was very successful, and now
Yes.
hopefully they can repeat that recipe. But
I'll have to share it out there when you start doing it and stuff like that. So just let me know. I'll share it as much as I can.
Appreciate it.
No problem. So are you ready?
I'm ready to go.
Okay. Well, we got the tripod effect. He's going to be the guy that's going to be directing all the movies because he knows everything. So, ladies and gentlemen, the action figure connoisseur, and there's some good stuff coming out. And I don't know, he's probably bought him, or he's got stock in him. There's some new wrestling figures I saw, and I was going to text him, and he probably already bought them already. I don't know, but we don't know. So, but ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Mr. Pulp Culture himself. Cable, how you doing?
Hey, quite the intro. Not bad. How are you guys doing?
I'm living. The reason why I said the action figures because they got those old AWA kind of wrestling figures. I figured you were into them. I just saw them the other day, and knowing you, I figured you already had them.
No. Strictly certain lines. I got to limit myself because if I don't, I'm already running out of room. So it'll be over in no time.
I feel you. So, okay, guys, before we get into this, you guys got big plans for the 4th tomorrow?
Might go to the drive-in and see Jurassic Park. That's it.
Okay. Cable?
Yeah. Grilling and movies. That's probably maybe some yard work.
Grilling and movies and yard. Oh, hey, you want to do some yard work? I know a place that can be done. My grass is this high.
Yeah, yard work, not field work.
Okay. Well, I could bale some hay. So, now, ladies and gentlemen, we did these last. We were going to do this last week and the week before, but some stuff happens, and that's just the way it is here when you do podcasts. Sometimes stuff happens. We did the MCU, and we did the non-MCU movies, and this week it's going to be the DCU universe. We're not going to do any of the cartoon animated stuff from HBO Max because those movies never went to the movie theater. Those were direct to VHS or DVD. All these movies now are DC movies or Warner Brothers and all that stuff that actually went to movies that you could see them in the movies, drive-ins or at the movies. I guess we're going to start, and it's also going to be, there's 3 of us. If 2 of us vote The third one is going to be shit out of luck, like Incredible Hulk, which I'm still bitching about to this day. And then Shane, what kind of tiers do we have that you made up here?
Green Tears is last week. We got GOAT, greatest of all time, great, good, meh, and hot garbage.
Okay, I'm going to say there's going to be a lot of heart.
I think it was 6 tiers last time. Just got too crazy.
Yeah. And okay, Devil's in the house. Thank you for coming on, Devil. So, Cable, you are going to be leading the way here. So, what is the first movie in the DCU rankings?
First movie, the original superhero movie, Superman from 1978.
Okay, I'll go first. I would say great. That's my opinion. And we'll just go right down, Shane, and then Cable can end it up.
I agree
Shane?
with you, Pablo. Cable, what do you think?
I agree with great. Good spot for it.
Okay, wow. We started off good. We're done with the show. Okay, thanks for coming. Okay, the second movie in the we're trying to get them in as order as we can, people. So what's the next one? And Cable has
Chronologically, next is Superman 2. Not a lot of variety back then at this point, so.
Okay, Superman 2. I'm gonna vote. I like Superman 2 better than Superman 1. And I'm gonna say GOAT.
I'm going to lean towards great. They're good. They're really good for their time. But me being the age I am and not seeing them till a certain point, I have to forgive a lot of stuff because they are dated. But Christopher Reeve was very good in this role in these movies, so I'm going to stick with great.
Okay, Shane.
As far as DCU goes, I'm thinking it's in the great column, maybe GOAT, because you got to think back. There wasn't anything like that. I mean, some of the special effects were far ahead of what anything else was. You think of Superman and Star Wars and Jaws as being the best special effects for that time frame, and I would have to say it's great.
Okay, I'm okay with that. I'm not gonna cry. Okay, what's the next one?
Next is the original Swamp Thing.
Okay, let me see if I can find it on here. I know
the original Swamp Thing. Well, Adrian Barbeau had two assets that were awesome. I was going to beat that. I beat you to the punch, Cable.
You did.
I talked to her agent a couple years ago, and I almost had her as a guest on this show, surprisingly.
I remember that.
Yeah, I'm going to go with, man, that's what I'm going with. Shane?
I've never seen it.
Okay. Well, I've seen it, and that's, man, I mean,
I probably have. I forgot about it. So, man's probably right.
Cable?
Yeah, I agree with that. It's campy, fun for its time, and Swamp Thing looked pretty good, honestly, all things considered, like how his prosthetics and everything. But just it is what it is. It sums it up perfect.
I think they could redo this, and it could probably be way better.
Well, they had the TV show that was pretty good a couple years ago, but I only watched a handful of episodes, and then they canceled it. So,
well, that they knew something we didn't. Okay, next,
Superman 3.
Man, that sounds like a goat. Man, yeah, it wasn't very good. I believe that wasn't a Richard Pryor one, was it?
No, that was 4. This one had this was Richard Pryor. I get a mix up.
Yeah. It's very close to hot garbage. But Cable, I like Richard Pryor, but
Cable, you didn't see it, did you?
Correct. So I defer to you two.
I have to agree with Bubba on this. It's maybe even hot garbage because with the other one had what's his name? He just passed away. Was in Hoosiers. Gene Hackman.
Oh, Gene Hackman is Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
It wasn't very good. I seen it. It was just god awful.
What's
okay, next.
Next is Supergirl.
Oh, okay.
Hot garbage. That was easy.
Cable.
I've never seen it, so I once again defer.
I didn't think it was hot garbage. I'd say it's mad, but I'm putting it hot garbage. She's she's not bad looking girl, but
I think the new one from James Gunn will be way better. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it wasn't very good. It was in the
Oh,
mid
that's right.
'80s.
84. James Gunn is doing another Supergirl.
Yes.
Yeah, next year.
Yep.
Okay.
And
So-
actually, they had this Supergirl. I think she played somebody in the Supergirl TV show.
Yeah, she was in Ballad of Bobby Joe or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Billy.
Billie Jean or something.
Yeah, the Ballad of Billie Jean. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a better movie than Supergirl.
Yeah. So, Cables. The next one's Superman 4.
Correct. Quest for Peace, and once, twice, 3 times, I'm deferring because I've never seen this
That's
one.
okay. I saw half of it. It wasn't worth. They had Nuclear Man. It was fucking ridiculous.
Is this the one with the junkyard fight scene?
It's a very shameful with Christopher Reeve, and it's to me it's hot garbage.
Yeah, it tanked. Guys, we're at the return of the Swamp Thing, right?
Yep. One last one before a very pivotal turn.
What do you
I've never seen this one, so can't say anything.
I think I saw it a long time ago. It didn't have Adrian Barbeau, and it's hot garbage in my eyes.
There you go.
Shane didn't even say nothing. He said the hell with it.
I have never seen it, but I have seen this one, and I know everyone in our chat has the original Batman.
Look how good that poster looks right off the bat. Just
Yeah, it looks
Goat.
good.
That is the first DC movie that I went to see in the movie theater. First one ever. Goat. I think I like Jack Nicholson as the Joker. Michael Keaton is my Batman because I'm old. And I remember the slack and all the shit that he got, and people thought it was a joke about him being Batman.
Yep.
But that movie there to me is probably one of the goats in this DC movie ranking tonight. So that's what I'm going with.
What do you think, Cable?
I agree. Go. It really got DC moving again after the couple Supermans, a decade earlier almost that point, and nothing like it before it came out. Changed the superhero landscape. Still holds up to this day.
Now,
What do you think it was, Shane?
I thought it was fantastic. It's a goat. It's not even mention it's there. It's a top.
Okay.
Top. What I'm trying to find here is the next one is Batman Returns, right?
Yes.
And that would be this one, right?
Yep.
Now, would you rank this one?
I would say great due to the fact it's the first time that you had two villains in a movie, and it was iconic, and it was also Michael Keaton. It had Christopher Watkins, and I saw it twice in one day at the Indiana movie theater. So that's why it was great.
That's a goat for me. But Cable?
I agree. Great. Some people don't think it holds up as well to the first one. This was the first movie I ever saw in theaters, superhero or not. This was my first movie-going experience. I love the Tim Burton feel. I love the Gotham City and wintertime setting. I love the characters.
Wouldn't give it more than a great. I mean, I'm thinking goat.
I don't give it a goat just because there's some silliness to it, which I know we're talking about guys running around in costumes and stuff, but yeah, and that movie really, as a young Cable, I should say, that sent me down the wrong path of understanding Penguin. For much of my childhood, I thought he was a deformed penguin-shaped person, which is not in line with the comic books. And to this day, I will die on the hill if anybody wants to argue that Batman Returns is not a Christmas movie. That's become a recent trend, sort of
Oh, I
like Die
can't.
Hard.
Oh, geez.
And
I'm not even getting involved in that one.
yeah, but great for me.
Well, there it stands. It great. So next we have Cable. If I'm correct, it's Batman Forever.
That's it. We're rolling on the Batman train.
Batman Forever.
With that one, that had Jim Carrey. Who else?
Tommy Lee Jones, Val Kilmer, Nicole Kidman, stacked cast, Chris O'Donnell.
Yeah.
I think for entertainment purposes, it was not. It was. I'm going to say good for entertainment purposes with all that cast. With I think Irma Thurman was Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
Nope. That's the next one.
Ah,
That's
shit.
one.
Oh,
This was Riddler and Preface.
God damn it. Okay.
Carrey.
I thought there was 3. Yeah, I'm going to go with good.
Cable.
I'm going to say great. This one came out at the perfect age for me. I was 8, I believe, when this one came out, and this solidified Batman as one of my favorite superheroes. This was, the cartoon was still going, strongly animated series. It's goofy. It definitely is goofy, and you can see where the bridge from Tim Burton's Batman to Joel Schumacher, and then the next step we'll get into, which is a shame. But I love the characters. I love the campiness of it. And honestly, I think Val Kilmer is a hell of a Bruce Wayne when he's not under the cowl. So I say great. What do you think, Shane?
I agree with you. I think Val Kilmer hit it, and it kind of transitions from that Tim Burton kind of campy. It was still a little bit campy and goofy, but it kind of transitions to being a little darker with Val Kilmer. It was. I think it was good. But guys, it's been 20 years since I've seen it. So what's next?
And it's 30-year anniversary this year of it, actually.
Yeah, and Val did play a good Batman.
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did. Next is Batman and Robin.
Let me see which one that one is. That's
the one with Schwarzenegger, Deep Freeze or whatever, right? Yeah. Yeah, that was man for me.
Cable.
Hot garbage, 100%. It almost single-handedly killed the superhero genre. Batman didn't get a movie for 8 years because of how poorly it was received. Batman Forever, like I alluded to, the kids were scared of Tim Burton's Batman after Batman Returns. So the studios did a big turnabout, and they brought in Joel Schumacher to sell toys. And you can really see that. There's no love for the characters at all in this movie. All it is a big commercial for toys, and it's fucking terrible. So for me, it's hot garbage.
I've seen this, and recently it was just on TV, and and it is terrible, guys. So I have to agree. It's in the hot garbage category. This is going to be a big, full hot garbage category, I think. But what's next table on the list?
Steel with Shaquille O'Neal.
That was hot fucking garbage.
I don't even have it on.
I have to.
It deserves that. It deserves to not even be on there.
No, that's terrible.
Okay. Next one I have is Catwoman.
That is the next one.
Okay, my Catwoman, my synapse of that, Halle Berry. Okay, the whole premise of Catwoman, the movie sucked. To me, she was hot, but it was hot garbage.
Cable.
Totally agree. There was supposed to be a Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman right after Batman Returns, and when the studios screwed over Tim Burton, she walked away, and it should have just stayed dead. This is an abomination. Hot garbage.
Michelle Pfeiffer would have killed it, but
oh yeah.
Next, I have Constantine, boys. What do you think of that one?
I know they're going to make a sequel, and it took many, many years. I like Keanu Reeves, but I'm going to say it was not hot, good. I'm going to say good. That's my opinion of it.
Cable.
Yeah, I float between good and math on this one. It was all right. Keanu Reeves is okay. Now, I haven't seen it since it came out. I've only seen it once. I haven't seen it recently, obviously. So, memory serves. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt and leave it in good.
Now, I'm thinking the next one on here, boys, is is Batman Begins?
Yep,
And would that be it right there?
that's it.
I'm going to go first on this one. I thought it was I thought it was great.
I will say good.
Cable?
I'm going to say great. I think it is a fantastic Batman adaptation. It saved Batman after all those years where the studios didn't want to go near it because of how badly Batman and Robin bombed. Yeah. You needed Christopher Nolan to come in with this gritty, realistic take. You get the origin story. You see him become Batman, and they truly spend time on him developing the gadgets and the suit and all that stuff. I flirt with GOAT, but I'm going to leave it at great.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Well, next we have, Cable, if I'm right, it's Superman Returns.
Correct.
And Cable, I'll start with you. What do you think?
Happy 4th.
I'm going to say good. I think that pretty much just sums it up. It's not a bad movie. It's not the best movie. Brandon Routh does a pretty decent job as Clark Kent Superman. Unfortunately, real world things aside, Kevin Spacey is a pretty fantastic Lex Luthor in that movie. I have not seen it in a while, but there are parts of it that I still remember to this day. The scene on the roof where he gets shot in the eye and the bullet just bounces off his eyeball. Cool things like that. But I'm going to leave it at good.
Bubba?
I'm going to say because of Kevin Spacey being in that, and it was such a great at that time, not being controversial, Kevin Spacey was a hell of an actor.
Yeah.
And at that time, I liked everything Kevin Spacey was in. So I'm going to go with good because it's the return of Batman or Superman. I said Batman, Superman, and Roth had a lot of tights to fill, because it wasn't Christopher Reeves. So I'll say good.
Oh, good. That's where it's staying then. So next I have The Dark Knight. Is this one The Dark Knight or is it the other one?
Yeah. Nope, that's it.
That's it.
Okay. Where would you put that, Bubba?
Great.
Cable?
Great. And that's undoubtedly GOAT for me. I think it's the
greatest. I'm sorry, GOAT. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
GOAT. Yeah. Sorry.
I think it's the greatest superhero movie ever made. I think it tops anything MCU.
Really?
The performances, Heath Ledger's Joker, the themes that play there, good, evil, which they all have that, but the White Knight, the Dark Knight, just everything about that movie. It's cinema perfection, superhero ideology handled maturely, stunts, practical effects. Love every bit of it.
Had a great Batmobile, so I have to agree. Go.
and some of it was filmed in Pittsburgh too.
Yeah.
All right.
Hardy is Bane.
I have the right Watchmen here.
No, that's the third one. Wait. No,
yeah, Bane's in the third.
God damn, I'm fucking everything up.
So next I have, let me know if I'm right or wrong, Watchmen.
Yeah, that's Watchmen. You're good there.
I'm going to be honest with you. I've seen this more than once. I'm going to say GOAT because actually it is one of the greatest graphic novels of all time. Horshack and the Comedian with Jeffrey Dean Morgan was phenomenal. And based on that, because I've seen it more than once, I'm going to say it's GOAT. And it was a little bit mature in that side of superheroes. And it's probably the first mature type superhero movie ever. So I'm going to say GOAT.
Cable?
I danced between GOAT and great. I did just rewatch it. within the last month or so, and it's aged really well, actually. I enjoyed it more than I even remembered, because I know when it came out, there was a lot of people who were very undecided, and we'll probably talk about this some more. Zack Snyder's got a very specific way he makes movies, and there's one thing you could take away from any of his movies, even if they falter in the story a little bit, they're always a visual treat. And this is such a great movie just to watch and look at. I absolutely love the intro at the beginning to the Bob Dylan song with the original Minutemen. So I think this movie has really aged upwards. So I'm good leaving it in the GOAT category.
I have to agree. I think that's definitely where it should be. Next one, and we have Jonah Hex, and I did not see this one, or I saw it and didn't remember it. But Megan Fox, I usually watch every movie she's in, so
I didn't see it either.
I'm gonna say it's meh.
And that's
pretty well. No. I'm gonna say hot garbage.
All right, there we go. This next one I have seen, and I'll start off. It is Green Lantern, and I think it's hot garbage.
Oh, I agree. Hot garbage. Hot garbage. And that was the villain was terrible. Ryan Reynolds as that was not good. And I went to movie theaters to see that one, and I didn't like
it. That's going to be third for me. I'm in that same group with you guys. Green Lantern is one of my favorite superhero IPs. And to see what they did with that, when there's such a rich history of that character and what they could do to bring it to live action, if you could bury it under the dumpster that's hot garbage, that's where I would put it.
Oh my gosh, this is the worst of the worst.
That's
Cable,
funny.
we're just going to start off with you. This is another Batman movie, and I'm interested to see what you say about this one. And this is which one's this one?
Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah. Where I put it right here.
I'm gonna go great. I was a little mixed the first time I saw it. Yeah, there was so much hype after Dark Knight, of course, and so that was always going to be a hard act to follow. Even though it's hard to understand them sometimes, I love Tom Hardy's Bane. I love the story they tell with the Eat the Rich and the Tale of Two Cities type stuff, and Batman having to come out of the prison, the hole in the ground. I love the twist with Marion Cotillard as Talia al Ghul. My biggest complaint coming out of that originally was I thought Bane had a really weak exit, which I still agree with. But now that time has gone on, I've watched it a few times. I love the story they tell. I can live with that. And they wrap up in such a nice, neat bow. It's got one of the cleanest endings to a trilogy ever. When he's, at dinner and he sees Alfred, like they alluded to earlier in the movie, and they just nod and he's there with Selena Kyle. I think it's pretty much a perfect ending. So I'm going to say great.
Bubba?
I will say great also, and also the Steelers were involved. It was filmed in Pittsburgh. I also thought the Bane could have been more powerful. And and then at the end, you had what was the kid? You thought that who was the kid?
Just of course, love it.
Would have been he was. You could see that, or could tell that, to me, he was Dick Grayson, but they never said it.
Right.
Yeah. So I'll go with great.
And I'm looking here for the Man of Steel. Yeah, here it is, right here. Next,
what was your rating?
Bubba and Cable. I think it was. I agree with you guys. There's no argument for me. Definitely great. So,
yeah.
Next one is Man of Steel, and Bubba, we'll start with you.
I went to the movie theater to see this. Henry Cavill. To me, I liked him as Superman, and also I never saw Superman kill anybody before, and I think it was a little dark, but I liked it. I'm going to go great.
Cable?
I agree with great. I think it was such a good telling of Superman. I love, the flashbacks to his origin, seeing Krypton. everything with him growing up and the struggles. How do you handle having all this power, but trying to stay hidden? And like what Bubba just alluded to, that's a great example also of you can see the pain, the way Henry Cavill plays that character when he breaks Zod's neck, because that's the only way to save that family. I mean, maybe there was other options that I don't know, but I get the message there. You know, even though he was this villain that was doing terrible things, killing people, it still pained him to do that, even though that was probably the right move. Visually, the movie is stunning. Henry Cavill is such a perfect Superman. I also love Amy Adams
too. His dad was
yeah.
Kevin Costner. Yeah.
Diane Lane was in it. You know, Zod was Michael Shannon. A really good cast. I love Amy Adams as Lois Lane also. So it's great.
Wasn't Russell Crowe his dad from Kryptonite?
Yeah.
Yep.
He was,
Kryptonite.
Wow. And Kingpin's wife was Lois' mother.
Oh, that's really interesting.
I did not know that. See?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, from the Daredevil show.
Now, I'm going to lead in with this one. You guys are going to have a different take than me, but I thought this was a great movie. Boys, tell me otherwise. Bubba?
What is it? I can't see.
It's Dawn, what is it?
Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice.
Oh, I thought it was I just thought it was good.
Cable?
So this is where I'm going to get real nerdy. There's an extra cut of this movie, the Ultimate Edition, that adds, I think, like a half hour of extra scenes. That version, I would say, is great. I was really mixed coming out of the movie. Obviously, I think the whole world was kind of stunned by the whole Martha thing. Ended this great battle. And me being a stickler when it comes to certain designs, character designs, much like I can never get past Abomination's design in Incredible Hulk. I absolutely hate Doomsday's design in this movie because I'm such a big fan of Doomsday. But I think it's great. Visually, it's just striking. Ben Affleck is such a good depiction of Batman. When he's got the cowl on, the suit, that warehouse fight scene is one of the best fight scenes of Batman ever. You know, Henry Cavill obviously returning as Superman. The Dark Knight Returns comic book adaptation section in the movie. I think Wonder Woman's first live action introduction in film.
Yep.
I think it holds up and it's great.
I think she was better than both of those two.
That's why
she actually outshined him.
I added in here the Ultimate Edition because I think it's up there with the Snyder cut as like one of the greatest. But anyways.
Yeah, so I guess the Ultimate Edition I would go great. The regular edition I'd go good if you want to split hairs that way.
Okay, I'll do that then. All right, so that's what we'll do. Suicide Squad.
I'm gonna say
right over it.
I'm gonna say the opening scene in the prison was good, but after that, I went to the movies to see that too, and I'm gonna go nah.
Okay, so I'm sitting at meh. I think it does a few good things. You know, obviously when they're putting the team together, the character introductions is fun as hell. There's a Ben Affleck Batman cameo that is one of the best scenes of Batman ever. You know, where he swoops down on Deadshot, and it looks like a panel out of a comic. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn is amazing. I hate where we end up at the end of the movie with Enchantress being the big bad and the garbage chute going up into the sky. I would leave it at meh, but Jared Leto's Joker drags it down to hot garbage. I absolutely fucking hate Jared Leto's version of Joker. So for me, it's hot garbage.
Hot garbage. Wow.
Because
that's a strong take, Cable. That's a strong take there.
Margaret Robbie takes it at meh. She saves it.
But because that iconic dance with the Joker and Harley Quinn is a comic book cover.
Yeah.
But that didn't save it for you.
No, she's something else. But speaking of something else, I'm going to start this off. This one I'm going to give you my take. I think this is a GOAT. This is a fantastic movie. Wonder Woman. Guys, come on. Is it GOAT? Or do you guys just think it's good?
I think I think it's
surprising.
I think the villain
yeah.
the bad guy was not that over the top. She was great. I mean, I give her 4 stars. I would say great. I wouldn't say GOAT. I did like it, but I would say great.
Cable?
I'm also going to say GOAT. I do agree with what Bubba said. Ares is a fitting villain, but the way it was done wasn't the best. But I think with you almost don't need a villain that strongly in this movie because you're focused on her origin, and she just steals every scene she's in. You know, she's just captivating in that role. I thought Steve Trevor, Chris Pine was very good in that role. Their chemistry was very good. I love the World War One setting. I absolutely love that they made it a period piece. So even with them having a weak villain and the third act being a little weak, uh, I'd still say GOAT. You know, I love that Steve Trevor did the ultimate sacrifice at the end, even though they kind of undid it. But at that time, we didn't know that. So I keep it at GOAT for me. I think Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman keeps it there.
Okay, well there you go. That ties right into here we go. Next, what's next on the list? We got is it
Justice League.
Justice League. This is not the Spanish version, but go ahead, Cable. Start us off.
All right, I was going to ask to take the lead on this. So much like the conversation Batman v Superman, there are 2 versions of this movie, or 3 if you want to count the black and white version. The regular theatrical cut, I keep as mad. I was very underwhelmed by it. You know, Zack Snyder's family went through the tragedy with his daughter dying, so he stepped away. They brought in Joss Whedon, who I think had lost his touch by that point. Apparently, it's a very toxic work environment, and that almost feels like that, you know, correlated into the on-screen product. Did not like what I saw coming out of it, and it should have, you know, I mean, all these characters, all this time invested into seeing them coexist on the screen together. And for the most part, great characters. Jason Momoa is an awesome Aquaman. Gal Gadot, like we talked about, all of them. That being said, the Snyder Cut, I put it great. I think there's an extra hour of footage, maybe, or close to it. And you get a Green Lantern in it. You get Zeus, like in an intro, you know, very quickly cameos. Martian Manhunter's in it at one point. The plot makes more sense. Visually, it's a better looking movie. You get more dark side. I actually really, really like the Snyder Cut. So Snyder Cut, I say great. Theatrical cut, I say meh.
That's the only one I remember. I remember the Snyder Cut. I don't remember the other one because I just had a brain dump. But Bubba,
I saw it in the movie theater. I thought it was fucking terrible. But I saw the Snyder Cut twice, and the first time I saw it, I had to take it in parts because I fell asleep. But you know, and Cable's right; they added more in depth into that cut. I would say it's not GOAT. I would say it's great because it is an added hour of footage.
Yeah.
You know, and they had to, you know, the first act, you know, and the resurrection of Superman, stuff like that played like kind of like out of the comic books. So yeah,
the more cohesive story in the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, and Jason Momoa as Aquaman was. I thought that Flash was good in this movie, but I'll talk about him later. But Cyborg, I would have never put Cyborg in the Justice League in this cut. To me, Cyborg is a Teen Titan, but that's just me. He was a league later, but I would have introduced
modern Justice League rosters.
Yeah, I know, but I like him better as in Teen Titans. But
Hmm.
yeah, I'll say great.
Okay, there it is. Next is Aquaman. Baba?
I'll say good. I think the origin story was good, really good. He played a great Aquaman, but him fighting his brother or whatever was just,
Story sucked. Cable?
yeah.
I say good, but I'm almost to great. And I don't know if that was because I went in with low expectations or what it was, but I was very impressed. And yeah, the story. I love Patrick Wilson as an actor. As Orm, his half brother was whatever. But there's also a whole other side of that with the Black Manta character, who I think was a very, very good character. I loved every bit that he was on the screen. So the scenes involving him, I really did enjoy. Jason Momoa is fantastic. Stellar cast. Willem Dafoe, Nicole Kidman, just kind of a stacked cast. I thought the underwater effects were fantastic also. So I think it just falls short of great, though.
Well, and every woman loved him anyway, so it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like he didn't have to say anything; they just looked at him. And Afton's like, that's why everybody loved his looks.
Yeah. Guys, this is a theme for me. Like Wonder Woman was good, the second sequel sucked, but Joker, I thought was pretty good. But what do you boys think?
I had never. I have it. I've never seen it.
Wow.
I can't comment.
I like the first one. The second one's hot garbage. But
we're just talking the first one for now.
Yeah, first one the same. I think it's good. Strong good.
If we want to keep it at good, that's fine. I almost put it at GOAT. Joaquin Phoenix's portrayal his acting is so good.
I'm being.
If I would have saw it, I could give you a vote, but I have never saw it.
He's really good.
Well, I even have it. I have it. And I never saw it. I bought it.
The reason I think about putting it only at great is because it takes a lot of liberties with the story, which they all do to some extent, especially in the MCU. But it's very much its own story. Some elements, from the comics, but they really just kind of took the idea and ran with it. But as it stands as a movie, it's really well done to the point where it's almost hard to watch. I think I've only watched it a couple times because it's not enjoyable.
Like
they do such a
driver or something like that. It's like
100%.
Yeah, so I have no problem putting it up there. That's why I kind of like. There's some like the rewatchability. It's not there, but it was like I walked out of the theater like, what did I just watch?
It's an experience. Yeah.
Well, you should watch it.
I get some time. I know.
Shazam. Baba.
I thought it was very entertaining. I thought it was very entertaining, and I'm going to go with good.
Okay. Cable.
Good. I thought it was, perfect, fun, entertaining.
Now we're going into. I agree, guys. That's exactly where I'd put it. It was fun, lighthearted. It was the cotton candy of DCU. Birds of Prey.
I'll jump on it. Okay.
You jump on it.
All right. It's close to math, but I'm going to say hot garbage. Margot Robbie is the only thing redeeming about this. I can't think of his name right now. Ewan McGregor, his Black Mask was almost there. I did like his portrayal in some parts, but just the mischaracterization of almost everybody in this movie makes me dislike it so much. I thought it was going to be a really good time watching Margot Robbie because she produced it and had a lot of creative efforts into it. And then the final product, I just did not think was very good.
So, Baba, that's where you put
I'm going to piggyback right off of Cable. I thought it was fucking. I think it's hot garbage.
Yeah, hot garbage. Well,
it's like a secondary. It's a secondary. The Birds of Prey and the comic book stuff is a little different. I think they tried to do a little bit of it in Arrowverse, but this movie they tried it. And Black Mask was a little bit more of a badass villain in the comics. Ian McGregor is a hell of an actor, but Obi-Wan couldn't save it, and Margaret Robbie couldn't save it either. So she, I don't know if she'll ever play it again. The character, I don't even know if they'll have the character again. I don't know, but I'm going to say hot garbage.
Oh, I forgot to put the Snyder cut up here, so we'll put it up here as great or goat. What?
Great is where I think I.
Okay.
So,
Let's go. After talking about hot garbage of Birds of Prey, this is another movie that I had high hopes for because the first movie was so god darn good. I was disappointed to the point of almost crying. Wonder Woman 1984, hot garbage. Boys,
I can agree with you, Shane, because I went to the movies to see that. I was disappointed. Pedro Pascal as the villain was not. I wasn't into that.
terrible.
And it's a secondary character. Maybe he's a major character. Now he's getting reincarnated by Gunn's brother in the new DCU. But they brought back Chris Pine. I didn't like that, and it lost. And Kristen Wiig as Cheetah, I thought she's a better comedic actress. She did what she could. She got in shape for the role.
Yeah,
she looked hot.
Yeah.
So, but I think to me, I think it was hot garbage.
I agree. Cable.
I would put it good, but both of you guys are on the same page, so leave it where it's at.
But I mean, I thought it was bad.
I think you can leave it there because I would go between Matt and good. I haven't seen it in a while. Actually, I've only watched it a couple times. I remember watching it. It came out on HBO Max Christmas Day, and I remember watching it Christmas night at home. I think part of the reason why I almost go to good is solely based off Gal Gadot. Just no matter how bad the movie is, she still shines in that role. I think she was so perfectly cast, and I know she takes a lot of shit for not being a good actress and not being able to drop her accent, but I think it works. I didn't hate Pedro Pascal as Maxwell Lord. They kind of changed his backstory and presentation and stuff. I was not a fan of them bringing Chris Pine back, but he was so good in that role that it made me forgive it for that. So, if you want to average it up to math, that's okay. But I didn't hate it for sure.
Yeah, okay. I'm feeling it, but I have an alibi. And Cable, you can scold me. I have Batman, the Lego movie. I saw it in the theater. I thought it was fantastic. I have it at great.
I think it's a goat.
Yeah,
I think Will Arnett is fucking phenomenal.
Too shy to do that.
I went to the movie theater to see this. Actually,
I agree. I think it's so good.
I mean, it's not the animated. It's because it's at the movie theater. That's why we added this in, because there is a lot of DC animation is very, very good, but they didn't go to the movie theaters, and these are all movies. But I thought it was good. I mean, great. I thought it was good.
Abel, what do you think?
I think great. Very enjoyable. The Lego movie on its own was really fun, and then to see them do this Batman version of it. Will Arnett was fantastic, like you said. Zach Galifianakis was the Joker. All of it. I say my grade would be so high that if you guys want to pull it up into the GOAT, average it to GOAT, I'm okay with that, because the movie is almost like a love letter to Batman in a sense also. So I'm good with that. And I do have to do a little sidebar here, just in case anybody wants to fact check us or call us out, which I don't know if that will happen. But I didn't know we were doing any animated at all. There is a theatrical animated movie that's not on this list. It's The Mask of Phantasm.
Oh,
came out in 1994. It's the animated series movie that hit theaters. That is fantastic.
That would be GOAT. I've seen that.
Okay.
I would put that in the GOAT category.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I would keep it there too. You know, if it's not GOAT, it's right at the border. So I'm good with it being GOAT.
It's like it's the same story I have the comic book. It's the same fucking story. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I didn't put it on the list because I didn't think I thought we were strictly in a live action.
I thought I didn't think that was a movie release.
Yes, it did go wide in theaters. So.
Okay.
All right. We have just a handful left, and this is the last Batman movie I have on the list, and this is The Batman. And Cable, I'm going to start with you because I know you're really high on this movie. Where do you
go? There's a distinction here I'm going to make. I'm trying not to talk too long because we're getting close on time. I think The Dark Knight is the greatest superhero movie ever made. I think The Batman is the best Batman movie ever made. I think him being a detective, Gotham is so dark and gritty. You just feel that atmosphere when you watch this movie. It feels like Seven matched with Batman almost. Robert Pattinson takes a lot of flack for this role, but I thought he was a really good Batman. He's young in his career, so he doesn't know how to be playboy rich Bruce Wayne, which is never the true Bruce Wayne that we see anyway, but he uses that as a mask to do good for Gotham City. So he's not there yet. Obviously, Colin Farrell as the Penguin was amazing. Riddler, Catwoman, everybody in it. I thought all the characters were great. So to me, it's the best Batman movie ever made. It's got to be a GOAT.
Baba?
Well, I'm gonna rain on someone's parade probably. I just thought it was when I first saw it. I saw it at the Indiana movie theater. It was so dark I couldn't fucking see it. It was too dark for me. But I'm gonna say this: the Colin Farrell Penguin series on HBO Max, to me, was better than the fucking Batman movie. I know the guy was in Twilight. Okay, it was just when I saw it the first time, it was just visually too dark for me to see. I saw it again. It was a little better the second time, but to me, it was just good. It was a little darker and whatever. It was good. The Colin Farrell Penguin fucking TV show was GOAT. I mean, that character was fucking phenomenal in that TV show. And if they do that next movie, the Batman, like they did the Penguin show, then I will rank my Batman movie a little higher. And I do like Batman, don't get me wrong, but
I hear what Cable's saying. I get it. I'm the tiebreaker, so I'm putting it at great because I think it's high great, but it's man, that sucks because Cable's so high on it. But like it's just too dark, too gritty for me. But
it was just too dark visually for me. Like I couldn't I couldn't see some of the scenes, and that's what maybe it was where I saw it at that shitty Indiana fucking movie theater. But that's why, and it probably would have been higher. I think Matt Reeves, the director, is very good.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
what I have to back to it. It was pretty good. I would put it in the lower end of GOAT, but it's not. It's not
well,
like
you can. I'm okay.
Yeah,
you can put it up there.
I think there's. I think out of these three Batman movies in the GOAT, I would put it maybe at 2, because I would put it ahead of the original Batman. That's what makes me kind of think.
Oh, it's not to me. The Michael Keaton Batman's the best.
Yeah, but rewatchability, like it was just. I don't know.
It's nostalgic because at that time, as I go back to 1989, it was big fucking news.
Big
like
deal.
Batman, like it was huge. Like, and it got me that Batman with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson actually got me involved in buying Batman comic books because I never collected Batman until I saw that movie.
I started buying a few of the thick novels you could read, but anyways. Let's move on to the next one. What's next on our list, boys?
Well, Suicide Squad actually came before the Batman.
Do that. Suicide Squad. Cable.
Great. This was such a breath of fresh air after what we had gotten from the other DC movies. James Gunn came in, hit a home run. Based solely off of this and the Peacemaker show, and the trailers for Superman and Creature Commandos. Just keep going here, I guess. James Gunn hasn't let me down yet with anything superhero related. Guardians, fantastic trilogy. I liked everything he's done. This movie was so good. I wasn't thrilled about almost an entirely new cast when it was first announced, but I did give it a chance, and it came out. I believe it came out on streaming the same day as theaters because we were just barely out of pandemic, and it was, like I said, a breath of fresh air for DC movies and just for movies in general. It was such an joy to watch. So to me, great.
Bubba, what do you think?
I saw this in the movie theater. This made me turn into a John Cena fan. Cena as the Peacemaker is his greatest role ever. Even though he's the world champion right now. I thought the story was good. Amanda Waller is just an evil bitch in any movie she plays and anything she rolls in there. They had different characters because James Gunn pulls different obscure characters in both fucking companies, Marvel or DC. It actually had the villain was actually the first villain for against the Justice League in the comic books. So he pulled that out of the fire. So to me, and Weasel's still alive because he's in the Creature Commandos, and that's all canon. I'm gonna say it's very, very close to GOAT for me. I liked it. I totally enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
I think it's definitely in the top great category, but Bubba, I feel it. Like I was not a John Cena fan. Peacemaker changed it.
Oh yeah, now I'm a Cena fan. Even in wrestling, now I'm a Cena fan. Now I can't believe it. I can change.
What's next, Cable, on our list?
Next is Black Adam.
Oh, Cable, start us off.
All right, so I was going back and forth. I thought about leaving it at good, but I'm going to drop it down to meh. I don't know that Black Adam needed to have his own movie. I do enjoy the character from the comics very much. It was really exciting to see this movie had a lot of first time in live action. I love Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate. That was really good casting. I really like seeing Hawkman in live action for the first time. I did go into it with a very low bar, and it was better than I expected it to be. And the post-credit scene with Henry Cavill, first time we saw him at that point, I think in 5 years as a Superman character. But I am steadfast, and I think The Rock is a very bad actor. I think he's one of the worst professional wrestling actors, and I did not like him in this role. So to me, I'm going to put it as meh.
I'm going to go next. I would put it good because that post-credit scene with Cavill, I thought it was good. Bubba, what do you think?
Well, I went to the movie theater to see this. I mean, this was a role that The Rock wanted for many years. The Black Adam is an anti-hero. A lot like Dr. Fate was great with Pierce Brosnan. I thought that was phenomenal. And you saw characters that you never saw before. You saw his origin as a face because eventually he was turning anyway. And at the end there with him and Superman, I thought and they say that he killed the fucking DC with this movie, but honestly, I liked it, and I'm gonna say good, not great, but I think it was good. And he'll never do. I don't think he'll ever do a superhero movie again.
Nope, he won't. They won't let him. They won't let him. It didn't make any money.
And he doesn't. He doesn't need to. It cost a lot of money. Yeah, and he doesn't need to. He's not the best wrestler actor.
No, he's not.
Right.
Cena's better. Cena's better than he is.
He is, and I think Batista's probably the best out of all of them.
Yes.
But you could feel with this movie, and then I couldn't put my finger on it, but the reports kind of talked about it, and I was like, that's exactly what it is. The Rock tried to walk in and strong-arm the entire DC movie universe and make Black Adam the center of the universe. And it's like, dude, he's not obscure by any means, but he's not that important in the DC universe. Awesome comic character, but because it's The Rock, he had to try and make it this big
and
important
that's what's
character.
fucking that's what he's doing. That's what he does in real life anyway. So he's
Yeah,
trying
right.
to strong arm bully people to fucking get his way,
Fast
and it didn't work out, and he lost a lot of money, and they'll never take
Mhm.
Marvel will never take a chance on him. There's no way he's
Good.
going to be fucking Apocalypse, and I don't want him to be another superhero ever again.
Same.
Because it's all ego for real. I mean, really, his ego is fucking terrible.
Next,
Mhm.
I like The Rock. Don't get me wrong. I like The Rock, but he can be an ass.
next on the list, Shazam and the Fury of the Gods. Is that what we have?
Correct. Yeah.
I thought this was hot garbage, but boys,
I agree. I saw it in the movie theater. I thought it was terrible.
Cable, what do you think?
I agree. The only thing I liked about it was the quick cameo from Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. That was
Yep.
pretty fun. Yeah. Other than that, it would have been even worse.
It was terrible.
Lowest on here.
And now that actor will never be a fucking. He's blacklisted now. He's from his political views, and he'll never be a fucking. Shazam was over, and he'll never. I mean, the character was great. First movie was fucking so good.
Where does he lean? I forget.
He leans right, but just the second movie was terrible, and I don't want to see him fucking be a superhero anymore because it was just terrible.
Okay, what's next? Cable home stretch,
After that, we got The Flash.
and ignore the Watchmen because that's an HBO one. I don't know why I put it on there. A Flash. Okay, this came out.
Fantastic, though. I will throw that out there real quick. That's a fantastic series.
It's really hardcore. It is hardcore.
And I had seen it, so I thought I'd put it on, but I'm like, no, you're right. It's not a movie. Flash, this came out time when this guy had a meltdown like 2 years before that. They waited to release this movie. It had me scratching my head. I don't know if it was meh, if it was good. I'm gonna lean in the meh camp. Baba.
The only thing about that movie was good was Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton couldn't even save this movie, and it was supposed to spin off more Michael Keaton appearances, maybe a Batman Beyond, if it would have worked out. That actor who played the Flash is a fucking dickhead, and he ruined it. And I like the TV actor who played the Flash, Gustin Grant or whatever that guy's name is. I thought he played a better Flash, because I used to like to watch the Flash TV show. But that guy going crazy ruined that whole movie. The mess up at the end where you saw George Clooney, and I did like Michael. I mean, I thought that was that stuff with Keaton. That was it, but it was terrible. Yeah, Grant Gustafson. Yeah, I think he's better. Hot garbage. I think it's fucking hot garbage.
Cable.
Okay, so I actually flirt with between good and meh. A lot of different reasons. Seeing Michael Keaton return was great. General Zod, Michael Shannon came back for that. I thought that was pretty fantastic. Was not a fan of the Supergirl characterization. I think honestly what it was I went into this movie with the lowest of bars, and then was a little surprised that it wasn't the worst thing I'd ever seen. There are a couple parts. Anything with him and his mother, I thought was done really well in the movie. The scene at the end where they're in the grocery store and he knows whatever he does, he distracts her or something because he knows that's going to erase her and not save her and fix the timeline. And I thought that was very well done emotionally. Some of the humor was pretty good. Some of it was pretty terrible. So if we want to average my maybe good or meh, keep it at meh, or leave it at hot garbage, I'm okay with either of those.
I'm going to leave it at meh because, guys, come on. It wasn't as bad as – it's not as bad as Supergirl because it had, it had Mike Keaton. It had those character cameos which just made you scratch your heads. It just – that Ezra –
Some Affleck popping up in it was pretty cool.
Yeah, Ezra's just such a shithead. I don't know.
I don't think he's even – does he even act anymore?
No, he's
no.
What do we have next here, boys?
Blue Beetle.
Blue Beetle. Okay. Cable.
This is the only modern superhero movie out of the DC that I haven't seen, so I'll have to step back from this one.
It was kind of fun. I think it was good. Bubba?
I think it was good too. What the hell is her name? Oh God, Robinson's wife's. What the fuck's her name? Oh shit. Thelma and Louise. What was her name?
Oh.
God damn it. She played, she played a good part. The dude from Cobra Kai played, a great character. I think that this character is going to be added into the DCU. I can't remember that fucking actress's name. God damn it.
That's all right, Bubba. We talked about
Julie,
Susan Sarandon. Yes, thank you,
the
Afton.
other one.
Oh my God, God bless you. Yes. But George Lopez played the crazy uncle. I'm gonna go with good.
I agree. Bubba Aquaman.
Hot garbage.
I agree. Cable.
I agree. My quick thoughts on it: there were a bunch of times in that movie I honestly couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was like, "Are they fucking for real with this shit?" Like it was so dumb.
I almost walked out, but
Yeah, same,
the
same.
movie I did walk out on. It's the last one on our list. Joker Part 2 or whatever the fuck they call it.
I'll never watch this movie. So I'm gonna put it as hot garbage because I'll never watch it.
Cable.
Because they turned it into a fucking musical, and I'm not watching it.
Yep.
I'm also gonna say hot garbage. I gave it a chance. I stuck it out. I kept trying to give it chances throughout the movie. I didn't love the idea of it being a musical. Some of the songs, some of the performances were actually not bad, and it kind of fits with Joker's delusions and things like that, and his no grasp on reality. But even beyond that, it was just such an awful movie. The plot made no sense. Then you found out why after it came out, that everybody working on it knew that it was bad. Joaquin Phoenix hated it. There's a video of him at the premiere turning to Lady Gaga saying it's a piece of shit. And you can read their lips. And she says, "Really?" And he says, "Oh yeah." And then the director walks by and he says, "Oh, great movie." But it just, I think honestly, the director didn't want to make a sequel. DC forced him to make a sequel, so he intentionally sabotaged this movie and made such a terrible movie that it won't be ever touched again.
Well, I ain't never watching it. Never, never, never.
Oh.
So before we get out of here, Shane, start from hot garbage up.
Shazam, the second Shazam, the second Joker, hot garbage. Another sequel that sucked, Birds of Prey. Aquaman, a sequel that sucked. Swamp Thing, a sequel that sucked. Superman 4 is just a big suck. Supergirl, terrible. Batman and Robin, the last one was of this like genre that was campy and stupid. It's terrible. Jonah Hex, a couple of us hadn't seen it, and then of course, Green Lantern is just shit. But the good, we have Constantine, Swamp Thing, Superman 3, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman 1984 is meh. It could be flirting with hot garbage. Flash was meh. Constantine was good. The Superman, the reboot that came out, 15 years ago, was
19.
Oh my gosh, almost 20 years ago. Then we have, the original Shazam was okay. Blue Beetle's okay. Black Adam is we're mixed on that one, boys. We don't know where to put it. This one, we got Superman versus Batman. I enjoyed it, but we had mixed reviews there. The great category, there were a lot in the great category. I'm surprised.
Which was surprising, right?
I'm surprised too.
We went into this thinking the majority of the movies were going to be hot garbage or mad, but look at the GOAT and the great.
It's right at where MCU was. I mean, pretty much we're looking at a mirror image of what MCU had. So there's just as many good movies in the DCU. Just I don't think they're as impactful as what they are in the MCU, in my opinion. I think But they go back to the original Superman in the 70s. I mean, that was instrumental. I mean, how many times on ABC that was like the Sunday night movie, Bubba? You know,
a lot,
right? So, you know, Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad. I mean, could you believe that would be like one of the great movies on the great list? Yeah, I mean, but you go the GOAT guys. We have 3 Superman movies on the GOAT. The Joker movie, the 4th Batman movie is a Lego movie. So 4 of the great GOAT movies have Batman in them, and even Wonder Woman. So
as the way it should be.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
So,
and if we were doing the new Superman movie coming out, I bet you the Superman movie is going to be in the top 2 categories.
Probably be great.
I agree.
I believe so.
I project that.
But $140 million.
We'll talk about that movie when it comes out. We're right at 70 minutes. I can't believe we went through 42 movies in 70 minutes. But
we did it very quick. Now next week we'll do the top franchises, and I think we should probably just do, and we'll come up with it maybe off screen, maybe the top 15 franchises of all time. Do you think that's okay? And we can do.
So are we going to propose our own top 15, or are we going to talk it out?
Yes. I think, or we should do the our top 10. Each one of us do our top 10 franchises.
We're each doing our own list. I would say maybe even top 5.
Okay.
That's okay. We'll do that.
Okay, right. We'll do top 5. Top 5 franchises of all time in any genre. And okay, so before we get out of here, the franchises have to be more than 4 movies or 3 movies.
Let's do more than 3, and because it's going to be tricky because we have MCU, we have DC movie universe, but you would think Batman, I think, would be his own franchise because you have those first 4 movies that weren't part of a connected universe. Right. But you can't say Iron Man because Iron Man didn't exist outside of the MCU. So it's going to get. I don't know that we're all going to be on the same page with it.
Well, it could be any genre, though. It could be horror, comedy.
Yeah, because there's the Naked Gun franchise. There's the Conjuring franchise.
I might go to the movie theater to see that new movie because that trailer looks funny as shit.
Surprisingly, it does look very good.
Yeah, so that's what we'll do then. Next week, we'll do our top 5 franchises and probably talk about Jurassic Park and then gear up for Superman because it's coming. And then hopefully I finished Ironheart by then, which is not bad. So. And we'll go from there. So,
boys.
Yeah, tonight. Yeah, it was pretty good. I'm surprised that we had that many DC movies in the top like that. So
yeah, you don't know till you go through it.
Yeah. So before you guys get out of here, Cable, you got anything you want to throw out there before we get out of here?
Well, I just like to say happy July 4th to anybody tuning in. Have a happy, safe, long weekend, holiday. Watch some movies, watch some pop culture stuff. I'm going to try to go see Jurassic World Rebirth and enjoy your time.
Shane, you got anything to tell the masses before we roll out?
No, have a good, happy 4th of July.
Okay, I'm just going to say don't drink and drive. Don't burn your house down with fireworks. And me and Shane will be back Tuesday with Mark on the Steelers Dynasty podcast. Just chill out. Have a good weekend. Happy 4th. God bless America. America. So everybody have a great night. And Aliens franchise is a franchise. Afternoon.
Oh, for sure.
Yes. Yeah. Keep all your fingers. I'm not into fireworks, so I'm good. But you guys have a great weekend, and we will see you guys next Thursday with our top 5 franchises and other pulp culture news. And I'm going to go do some other stuff. So everybody take care and have a great night, everybody. See you guys.